What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Boostsa podcast. And in this episode, we've got Mr. Lyle Afrika. He drives the K24 powered CRX all motor. What's up, Lyle?
I'm very well. And yourself?
I'm doing good. Glad to speak to you. So what I want to do is quickly, Lyle, before we go any further, I've just got a picture that I want to share. Give me a second. Okay, there we go. That's your baby.
Mm-hmm.
This picture was shot, if I remember correctly, this picture was shot a while ago by SB Word. This looks like the rooftop at the waterfront.
Yeah.
Okay, so your car looks slightly different now. Basically, this is your CRX, but it looks a little bit different now. Obviously, you don't have the bonnet on the car here now, and I've seen it looks like you've still got glass windows in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was when the car was still a full-on like a road car.
Okay, this was about a year ago, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, now we're going to go to another picture of what the car looks like now. Let's go to the inside. You sent me some pictures here earlier on, so we're just going to go through this. You know what? The easiest thing to do, actually being very silly here. The car's right there by you, right behind you over there. Is there any chance you can sort of pick up the camera, your phone, and just aim it at the car?
Yeah, just
okay. Let's do that. And we can chat about it while you're walking around the car. Okay, there we go. So the front bumper is off, but that is your K-swapped CRX with the entire bonnet cut out. So with that bonnet cut out the way it is, you don't have any sort of a shroud over that. That's how you run it all the time.
Yeah, that's how it is at the moment. Later, I do plan on building some sort of a shroud over the bonnet.
Okay.
Preferably like fiberglass or carbon fiber. Right now, this is still the OEM bonnet that I ended up cutting out.
I was going to ask if it's still the steel bonnet that's on there. All right. And the reason you put that bonnet on there, or you cut it out, is because the motor's just so much bigger.
Yeah, and definitely because of clearance issues.
Okay.
So it's like literally right there on the edge of the bonnet, edge of the taper cover.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And the ITBs obviously won't clear at all.
At all. And there's no chance that you could have cut engine mountings and put it lower, change the gear. You would have to change everything. You have to change everything, gearbox mountings, everything, to make that thing.
Yeah, well, that's the only issue. Like, there is now lately recently actually I noticed the company that does the engine mounts, they recently launched a lean mount kit actually.
Wow.
Which allows the engine to tilt forward.
Okay.
So the ITBs will probably clear the bonnet.
Okay.
That's I think that will still be a mission though, because I have to obviously remove the existing mounts and then probably fab up the post mount on the chassis.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy, guys. It's not going to be. They might supply the kits, but I mean, it's still going to take a lot of work to actually get it installed.
It is quite a bit of work.
Can we open up the bonnet? Is that possible?
Yeah, just give me a second.
All right, there we go. So we got K24 with those sexy ITBs and the squishy balls. That's just obviously for dirt. That's just for dirt, right? To protect so that no dirt gets inside there.
Yeah, and also obviously when moving the car.
Yeah.
Because the car is not really, it's not a road car anymore. It wouldn't have been safe to move the car around with the ITBs exposed to like debris and all that. Even while it's standing also.
Yeah. And it's super clean, guy. I mean, it's clean and it's neat.
Yeah, thank you.
In the bottom, so can you get back a little? Okay, the bumper's completely off, so we can't really see more or less, but it's basically just some plumbing on the front there. There's nothing there.
I removed the bumper just for space issues, space reasons,
of course,
clearance reasons.
It gets a bit tight. All right. Is there any chance? Look, I've got pictures of the inside, so you don't still have to worry about taking the phone around to the inside. We can just go into some pictures. Okay, so we just did a quick run around the front of the car because situation's a bit tight there by you, so it's hard to get inside. We've got some pictures that we'll come back to a little bit later on. But when did you start? That car was a street car. You've had it for a while. When did you make that car a drag car?
I think it's been a full-on drag car now since the beginning of last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I can't really remember. Oh, the score has been a race car since I owned it, but I can like officially call it a race car now because I don't use it on the street anymore, on the road.
Yeah, it's all
So,
it's strictly
yeah.
track now again.
So
I
for
think
about a year, I think. Yeah.
so before you, okay, I think let me rather ask this question. That K series that you've gotten in now, when did you drop that motor? Because you were racing the car before the K series was in there.
Well, the car started out as a completely stock CRX.
Okay.
I think I've owned it for like 3 months with
Mhm.
a stock engine until I decided, okay, I'm gonna sell the original engine and then build up a B series for the car.
Okay.
So it took me about a year or so to finally get all the parts together to do the B series conversion.
Yeah.
And then when that was done, it was actually my only car at the time, my like everyday car. And then eventually got the car up and running, and I used the car to work and back. And then raced the car literally every street to strip event that was out at the time. At the time, I wasn't really interested in MSA at the time.
Yeah.
And then I had the B swap in the car for about, I think, 2 or 3 years maybe.
That's a long time that you
And
ran that
then,
motor.
well, this specific engine is the 2.4 that's in now.
Yeah. The K24.
I've had the K20 in since what's it now? 2020 now. I think since 2017.
Okay, so you
I
ran
think
the
just at the end of
you were running the 2 liter for a
2017.
while.
Yeah.
So what was
like about 3 years, I think.
I know, what is the motivation to go from K20 to K24? I mean, what kind of times are you running with the K20?
I think my best time with the K20 was a 12.1 at the time.
Okay.
But the car was still like semi stripped out. Like the rear interior was removed, and I installed the half cage.
Yeah.
And the front of the interior was still all installed. The carpet, the door panels, the electric windows, the glass, everything was still in the car.
Wow. So if you wanted to, right, you could have sort of just lightened that car more, put the legs and windows in, cut somewhere on the body, and you could have possibly gotten into the 11s with that 2 liter.
If the car was stripped out, I would have possibly done an 11-second car time with the car.
All right.
Like,
But then from there, you just decided, look, gonna kick it up a notch, do the K24.
So yeah, the reason for going K24, I was actually planning on building the K20 at the time, but then I realized I'm probably gonna end up spending the same amount of money building the K24.
Yeah.
So I figured, okay, why not just go up for the bigger capacity engine than to build the existing 2 liter, which obviously made more sense to me because I'd end up with a lot more torque and power.
Of course.
So that was the reason for ending up going K24.
Yeah, because you working from a K24, you just obviously got, look, there's no replacement for displacement. I believe that all the time. You know, and if you've got a K24, you're going to be dropping similar kinds of money into that motor anyway, and you probably go further than you would have with a 2 liter. So give us an idea, talk to us about that particular motor with regards to internals. Run us through the build of the motor.
So the sub-assembly is out of a Honda CRV, 2.4 CRV. Obviously, I removed the OEM pistons and whatever, and the rods, and I replaced it with forged pistons. It's a 81 mil, so it's like 1 mil oversized from stock, and forged rods as well. And then the oil pump is replaced with a RRC oil pump, so it's the FT2 Civic FT2 type R, the oil pump kit. So that's basically the bottoming of the engine. So it's literally just off-the-shelf parts in a 2.4 bottoming. And the cylinder head is out of the K28-2 type R. So my previous engine that I had in, that's cylinder head. So the head itself is still in its stock form. The ports is stock. It's unported. Stock valves.
No
the only like upgraded parts.
Like that.
That's the only upgraded parts in the cylinder. The upgraded valve springs. And the camshafts. That's about it on the top end side. And then obviously I went with ITBs and the a big tube 4x1 header with a reverse megaphone.
What time are you making with that car now? What's the quickest you've done with that build as you've got it there now?
The quickest with the car as it stands now is 11.0.
11 flat?
11 flat, at 199 kilometers.
Over the 400?
So, over 400, yeah.
Okay, so you're almost at, you're at 11, you're at 11s now. So what's the goal? You want to get just below 10?
Just break into the 10s, whether it's 10, 9.
Just get into the 10.
That's my personal goal, just to get the car to be a 10-second car.
Okay. Well, look, let's. I've got some pictures over here quickly. We can just run through them, and you can talk us through it. All right. So let's talk about the. Okay, we're seeing the shifter over here. Right. So you got the H pattern shifter. What gearbox are you running?
It's the K24, the Type R, Civic Type R transmission.
Yeah.
With aftermarket limited slip diff. And that is about it.
Okay, you've got
standard gears, synchro mesh gears.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's nothing else like modified on the gearbox.
And do you find that the gearbox is handling the engine?
Yeah, it definitely handles the engine. It can handle the power as well.
Okay.
The gearing, however, in my opinion, it's not suited for drag racing. It's like the Type R setup is more track orientated than anything else.
So you've still got, look, I see your door cards are still in there. You've got the electric window switches in there. Is that still in the car?
Literally the only thing I removed in the doors was the glass and the window mechanism.
Okay.
So I decided, okay, keep the door cards on because it makes the interior still look clean.
Yeah, it looks nice. I actually like it. I mean, how much they can't weigh that much, you know, so that's not bad. And then and this is just a full-on aluminium seat. Is there it's obviously just for weight there.
Kirky race seat.
Okay. Behind this steering wheel over here, what cluster is this?
That's from the S2000, Honda S2000.
I thought so. Is there a reason that you wanted to use this cluster instead of the stock cluster?
I think if I speak for most Honda owners, that's probably the best cluster you can install in any chassis.
All right.
Like for the whole digital setup, it looks amazing.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. And that's your cage. Have you still only got a half cage in here?
Yeah, it's a half cage, yeah.
Okay. What do the rules say at MSA? When do you have to go full cage? Is there
not too sure about the time, but I think it if I'm not mistaken, I think it's if you do 10.5 or under, then you will need a full cage.
You must go for full cage. So you're still okay for now. But
yeah, I'm still okay for now.
In the future upgrades, you might have to consider getting that done. It's going to be sad though, because I'm looking at this thing. This interior is so clean. The spray work is so clean. The cage is the same color as the car, so it blends in lekker. I mean, putting in another front sickie is just not going to be fun. And then you're going to have to start chowing into this dashboard here, because you still got a stock dash as well. Is it a stock dash?
Stock dash as well. Yeah, still the stock dash.
So you're going to have to start messing around there as well. Yeah, but
I'll probably end up dating it though.
Yeah, the faster you go with this car, the more of these nice things are going to come out.
So that's the sacrifice we willing to make. Faster.
And then we got the LRAC. You obviously got a different cover on here now. You've got the red cover on there. And that's
just to blend it in for now.
That's before, that motor's before it went into the car.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Let's just play this clip quickly. This clip over here is, I think, when it probably just went in. And let's just check how those ITBs work. Oh, that is so good. That is so good. I love that sound. When I'm at the track and I'm just waiting for the cars that got the ITBs to come out so I can start filming, because they just sound absolutely insane.
Yeah.
So
sounds more like a bike.
It does. It does. And also, what does your car rev to at the moment?
At the moment, it's at the rev limiter is at 9,000, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, 9,000.
Limiter at 9.
I messed around like at the track. We still, like with the gearing of the car, we're trying to figure out what is going to be more ideal for for me and my buddies trying to cross the line in fourth gear. So
Okay.
we tried stretching out the RPM, and it still wasn't enough. Like we weren't covering enough ground to cross in fourth.
Okay.
So actually, we covered too much ground. So we ended up shifting into fifth gear.
Okay.
And then we recently decided, okay, let's try launching the car in second gear. And then that ended up working out way better. So we removed the limiter from 9,000 to around 8,600.
And that works.
And that seemed to be working out better.
Okay. Are you running a management in the car? And which management are you running?
Yeah. Previously, I've had the Honda K-Pro installed.
Yeah.
And now recently, I decided to swap that out for the AM Infinity. So it's a whole new management. So
may I ask why?
Purely for experience purposes, I guess. Like to expand the business. So
I'm with you.
When for instance when I do a swap for a customer, I would generally like persuade them into getting on data, because most of them are building streetable cars. So on data seems more suited for a streetable car. So with regards to like racing, like with my car, for instance, tuning on the dyno takes forever with Honda K-Pro, because I'm still utilizing the variable valve time, the VTC on the car. So with K-Pro, literally every cam angle on the VTC has its own fuel table and ignition table. So you can imagine, like, if I were to advance the cam, I would have to alter each and every ignition and fuel table. So it's very time consuming, and it's okay, in my opinion, I feel like it's a lot of strain on the engine also. So did a little digging and then figured out, okay, with AM it can control the feature of the engine, the IV tech, but it doesn't necessarily give you like a cam, fuel and ignition table for each cam angle. It will basically just use one ignition and fuel table while altering the cam angle. So it just made tuning a lot simpler and quicker as well.
More on the functionality of the car. So when you go racing, obviously you on full slicks when you go racing. What size tire are you running?
It's 24.5 by 813 Mickey Thompson.
Okay.
On these VMS 13-inch drag wheels. And I've got on the rear, it's a custom-made 15-inch skinny wheel.
Yeah.
Made by Justin Muller in PE.
Yes.
So that's the wheels on the car, setup on the car. Yeah.
So with your car at the moment, now you've got a just give me 1 second quickly. You've done a 11 flat with that car. So we're just going to share one of your runs at Killarney quickly. This is one of your 400-meter runs. Here we go.
Okay.
All right, this is you at Killarney, left-hand lane. I don't often see you in the left.
I alternate, so doesn't really phase you know.
Those gears are kind of long, eh?
Oh, it's short actually. But that was on that run. I launched the car second, so that kind of made it seem long.
Okay. That's what made the difference there. Now I didn't check that out.
Yeah, and I crossed the line in fifth gear.
Okay. And so that car is currently doing 11s with the setup that you've got right now, correct?
Yeah.
What can you do? I mean, obviously we've been talking about all the interviews we've been doing during lockdown. We've been talking about Corona mods, right? Things that the guys are doing to their cars during lockdown so that they can get quicker. Obviously, when they come out to the track again, they could be a bit faster. Have you done any sort of extra work to your car?
Yeah. There's quite a few things I've done now. Obviously, with the new ECU, Mr. Sean Zurich.
Yes.
Thank you. he's been literally on my side, helping me every step of the way. So.
Every single podcast that we've done so far, Sean's name has come up. Every single time. That guy is just a magician with everything that he does, and absolutely.
And he's literally been extremely helpful with regards to the score and the ECU setup, because he's been using AEM since I knew about Sean Zurich. He's been using AEM, so he's been like literally a great help, like into like figuring out the ECU. So I really must say thank you. Thanks again for Sean. So with his help, he mentioned to me AEM controls traction control as well. So there's its own traction control feature. So I wired up a wheel speed sensor on the rear wheels, and now we can be able to use the speed of the rear wheel and the front wheel to figure out whether or for the ECU to figure out whether the front wheels are creating slip, basically. So it will be able to pull back power, so we can get basically traction and then
as much
give
traction
back power again. So
okay.
So right now that was the new modern the car. The car is now traction control. So I'm hoping that can allow me to leave the line in first gear, and
I was about to ask exactly that now. I mean, you could actually now launch in first without blowing off the tires too much. If that starts working, that's going to make a big difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
so
also,
other than
I'm sorry. And also we I'm trying out the launch control as well, the 2 steps. So I'm hoping that can help as well. Because my previous event I did with the car was at Bragging Rights. And obviously I didn't do my best. I think I ended up with a 11.5.
Yeah.
But that's also because of experimenting with the ECU. So basically I just went out to get data. So a lot of my friends were disappointed in me because I didn't end up coming home with a new personal best, which is obviously like a 10-second run. But because of experimenting purposes, trying launch control and all this.
Look, I think we speak about this all the time. The guys on the other side of the fence, they just want to see you go faster. They don't see all the hard work that goes into it. They don't see the R&D. They don't realize that even now and again, you're going to have to go to track with experimenting and R&D, and it's not always going to work, you know, but you have to do that. You can't just always go for the sake of taking Dakar and beating times because you're going to break something. You've got to test something in small increments, you know, to see and take it from there. So don't want the real racers get it, guy. Don't even stress about it. So this next clip that we're going to play here now is you at Saldanha Drags. Here we got you in the left lane down at Saldanha. Wow. Going to 60.
Yeah, 60. Trying my best to ride 60 out as much as I can. Obviously, get the highest speed.
Yeah. Okay. So that was. How many times have you been to Saldanha with that car?
Quite a bit actually.
Okay.
The main events I haven't been like much at the main events, but. Like the private events.
The private days.
Literally at every single CK Outlaw event since the first one till the very last one. So.
Now they're lucky to go to because you get a lot more runs. Look, you don't specifically have the times or the top speeds all the time, but I mean, you've got your onboard GPS and your onboard that you can actually get an idea. You know, and that is definitely a good place to test because you can run and run and over.
It's basically like safe street racing if you put it in that way.
Before we started, I put up a post earlier on. Well, it says about 1 hour ago, right? Just I posted a picture of the car saying about to get into the Boostsa podcast with Lyle Afrika and his insane CRX. What would you like us to ask him? So there's a lot of people been jumping on the comments here. There's Benito van Wyk wants to know, what does a K motor swap cost? Now, I know that's not an easy question to answer. I think we would say to Benito, the best thing is, I mean, you run LA Racing. You guys can check them out on Facebook or can check you out on Facebook. You know, just send Lyle a DM, you know, and because it all comes down to what car are you swapping the motor into? You know, which Honda? You know, there's a lot of variables. There's no one fixed cost. But give Lyle a call, Benito, and he can help you out there. The right time wants to know, now there's a baby in the picture, you need to be a more responsible parent. So what I'm basically asking is, will you take 50K for the CRX? Oh my word. 50K.
Yeah, and way to pull the leg.
And Damon Lender says, drag time to Cape Town. I'm upping the offer to 55.
What?
That's over to Savage.
Let's hope that's dollars, US dollars. Then.
Let's hope. I don't think it is, but let's hope. What Angelo Holtzman wants to know: what fuel are you running?
It's methanol.
Okay.
I'm running on methanol at the moment. Yeah.
I don't know. Riaz Eros Gabriels wants to know where does he get his windows done?
He's probably wanting to know who did the Lexan.
The Lexan. Okay.
I did it myself. There's a shop out in Porden Island that supplies the Lexan.
Yeah.
And then they sell it to you in sheets, and then you literally have to just remove your glass, make out the template, cut it out, and then.
What do you cut it with a jigsaw?
A jigsaw. I think the jigsaw is at the best.
Doesn't it shatter? Doesn't it crack it? You know, you can get a very fine blade.
It's polycarbonate, so it's completely different to plexiglass. Plexiglass will
plexiglass shatters.
And distort.
I don't like plexiglass.
That's all bend. It's very flexible.
Okay. Marwan Siddiq asks, can he drive Saud Bassa's duck off again if I wax his car, please? I don't know who Marwan is. I have no idea who Marwan is. And he says he's going to wax your car. Does he have a detail or what does he do?
Probably. That will be nice.
Okay,
I'll be ready for that wax. Just let me know.
Are you ready for the call out though?
Yeah, definitely. I will definitely drive us out. I don't mind racing him. I hope he's gonna come back with a whole new setup.
Oh, he's coming back. Look, based on the first podcast, one of the first podcasts that we did, I mean, he's coming back strong, and he's not giving crap for anybody.
Let's just hope it's not a 2-liter next time.
I think it's gonna be though.
Apples with apples.
Look, from what I understand, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but from what I understand, is he wants to get low 11s with that 2-liter.
Okay.
You know, with that.
Well, then if that is the case,
2.1, that's what he wants to do.
If that's his case, then by all means, then go out and build your 2 liters out. You know, we are ready. LA Racing, by all means, we are ready.
No, look, that's.
But
there's a lot of people that want these races to happen.
At the end of the day, he is racing a 2.4, so you can't just go back to saying I'm a 2-liter or whatever if you lose. So if you definitely want to build the 2-liter, then make sure it's going to be fast enough to run a 2.4. But then take back like a man. I know Saud Bassa. We've always been at it since I was street racing back then. I was like 17, racing on the streets. Obviously it was wrong. But I mean that's where the passion obviously sparks. So I guess every time we at the track, that's probably gonna be the guy I'm probably gonna end up racing, because whether I make improvements, I would want to race him, because he's competitive, his car is fast, and if like I remember there was a time the two of us we had like a little private run, and Saud he had the Ace at the time. It was VVL. I had the car. It was K series. We drove in Mexico, up and down. Whether I won or he won, whatever, it didn't faze us, because I gave him opportunity to actually tune up his car. So we had a run. I ended up winning him, and then he asked me, "Is it okay if I tune the car while we're racing to see if he can make any improvements?" So I told him, yeah, by all means. And then he literally got his car to get faster and faster, and he closed the gap more and more and more.
You know, but you see, that's what racing is about. You know, it's about improving, because now you saw, okay, so now you want to go faster than you next time, so you need a couple of improvements. And it's a big give and take like that, and we need more of that. Yeah. But Lyle, dude, thanks so much for joining us on the Boostsa podcast. We really, really appreciate it. Like we always say at the end of the Corona podcast, we can't wait to see you guys out on track. We don't know when that's going to be. We hope it's sooner than later, but we're looking forward to see you guys out there.
Thank you. So definitely see us out.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Catch you soon, guy. Cheers.
Cool. Bye.
Massive shout out to Lyle for doing this interview with us on the Boostsa podcast. As you would know by now, Lyle's got the K24 swapped Honda CRX running 11 second quarter miles at Killarney. What you might not know is that Lyle's just recently become a father. So Lyle, from the Boostsa family and all of us, congratulations to you and your family on your bundle of joy. Expect a lot of sleepless nights, and not because of cars, but be sure you got this, bud. We want to say thank you so much for watching. If you did, and if you wouldn't mind banging on the subscribe button's at the bottom over there, and then just click on the bell so you get notifications for future content. We'd really appreciate it. Guys, thank you so much for watching with us. We really appreciate you, and we will see you guys soon. Cheers.